Hello YouTube, it's Atticus and welcome guys. I have a very special video for us today. This is game 3 with IndyPride. Yeah, Milk and Cookies Total War. One of the greatest YouTube casters here on the net. I mean, he has some of the most unique content. And yeah, we came across each other not too long ago when we played 3 games. If you guys haven't seen it, he actually casted our game 1. It was the Beastmen or Warhorde of the Shadowgrave versus Heimlich Himmler's faction. And this was actually game 3 here. So this is a really cool game. It's very thematic. And since he casted one of the games that, well, I won't even spoil anything. Since he casted one game, I figured I would cast another one. So let's go ahead and just jump into it, guys. I have some things going on in my personal life. I don't really want to get into it, but that's why there hasn't been much content, guys. So it might be a little bit of time before I can make another video after this. I just wanted to have one more thing out there, and yeah. So enough of that, guys. Let's go ahead and jump to the builds. So yeah, I'm playing the Pirates of Sartosa, which is Aranessa's Salt Spire's faction. But, as you can see right here, guys, I did not bring Aranessa, so I was trying to do little mind games with IndyPride. I brought a Vampire Fleet Admiral with a pistol. And the idea behind this was pretty much to have the healing. So you can see for my spells, guys, we have the healing, we have the Gaze of Nagash, which is like a DPS spell, and we have the Dance of Macabre, which will just make things hit a little bit stronger. So I'm just going for heals. Since I have a pretty small army right here, I want them to be able to stay alive. And against Dark Elves, it's kind of nice to have that healing. For my front line, guys, we're doing something really creative here. Now, since the Dark Elves are usually consisting of things that don't have a lot of armor, like, say, Witch Elves and Sisters of Slaughter, well, what you do is you put a front line of Zombie Pirate Gunnery mobs. These are the cheap, like, 300 point ones. And yeah, these guys can fire while moving. They have almost 8,000 HP, so they have just as much as the other ones. And yeah, these guys can shoot, so they'll actually do a lot of damage on the approach. And you can see right here, IndyPride has brought in some Witch Elves. So yeah, if I could have my Zombie Pirates focus fire these ladies on the approach, I could get them down to maybe 3/4 their health. Take a quarter of their health off, which that's the idea. So I feel like you get a lot more value with the gun ones, at least versus the Dark Elves. For the real killing from potential for my army, guys, I have 2 Morghuls, and yeah, these guys are going to be cloaked, so IndyPride shouldn't be able to see them, at least not right now. And these guys are the anti-infantry, armor-piercing beast, and yeah, they're going to be shredding through Sisters of Slaughter, Witch Elves, and things like that. Now, IndyPride did bring a pretty unique build right here. He did bring Shades, so I'm going to have to be really careful because they can get melted really quickly. Also, guys, for my secondary leadership, I do have a Gunnery Right. So yeah, most people bring Gunnery Rights next to Queen Bess, but if you mix it, if you strip them down, all you want to take is just the 2 abilities that give ammunition and then increase reload speed, and you put them next to the Shade Wraith Gunners, well, all of a sudden, you have a really powerful goon squad. And as long as you protect these guys, they'll be able to fire indefinitely. You'll just keep giving them ammunition, you'll increase their reload speed, and he just has some really cool buffs. And not to mention, he's armor piercing, he's ranged, and he'll help just snipe lords and things like that. So yeah, I love putting the Gunnery Right with my elite gunnery crew. Also, guys, we do have a Deathstreak Terrorgeist. So yeah, I wanted the contest the air. I was thinking that he might go Marathi or a Supreme Sorceress or something like that. So having a Deathstreak Terrorgeist kind of gives me a little bit of muscle in the air and mobility more important. So this thing's going to be really important for shutting down those shades and things like that, harassing that back line. Also, guys, we do have 1 unit of Death Guard, and this is just the deal. A little extra muscle for like Hydroneff Executioners, Blackguard, and things like that. I don't want to rely totally on the Morghuls, because what if he'd have brought like a bunch of Blackguard? Well, then you definitely want the Death Guard to be able to chew through them. So yeah, that's my build, guys, and you can see here in Vanguard I do also have 2 units of deck droppers. These are the cheap versions, the 400 ones. These guys do not have the armor piercing, but kind of like the idea with having the front line of the guns here. Yeah, you shoot Witch Elves who don't have armor or Sisters of Slaughter. Yeah, they do their job, and they're also pretty good at dealing with Harpies, which are pretty relevant in this matchup because they can fire while moving. So that's my build, guys. Let's go ahead and look into IndyPrides here, and you can see this is the Black Ark that we're fighting on. So Oops, sorry about that. So yeah, we're fighting on a Dark Elf ship, and yeah, it's pretty cool that he did bring Dark Elf army. So for IndyPride's Lord right here, guys, of course, to be thematic, he did bring Lokir Felheart, except no substitute. And yeah, if you've watched any of my Vampire Coast games, you know how good he's going to be. He's a lawnmower, he'll shoot through zombies, and he's going to be pretty much unsnipeable with his regeneration and things like that. IndyPride has pretty much 2 army groups. So Army Group 1 here, his main attack group, has a couple Bleak Swords right here, which are going to be really good at absorbing the shots of my artillery crews and my range crews. But yeah, right here he has his lawnmower, his real killing potential, the Witch Elves right here. And these ladies right here will shred through zombies, and they'll be able to lock things in place. So yeah, the idea of what he's trying to do here is you lock things in place with these Witch Elves, and you kill them with the Shade. So I really like this. I think it's really powerful. For his spell loadout, he did bring the most common sense one, which is Fire. And yeah, he has Fireball and Burning Head. So he didn't bring Cascade or Flaming Sword of Ruin. He didn't go for the magic damage, but with that Fireball, he could do a lot of damage to ethereal units. Like Aranessa, if I'd have brought Aranessa on foot, a couple Fireballs are pretty much sniper. And then he has a Dark Shields here in the back. These guys are going to be good for pressuring any back lines. Then he has a little bit of Vanguard shenanigans, guys. He has 2 units of Dark Riders right here, and 1 unit of Dark Riders and 1 Harpy. Probably looking for artillery crews. And then for his second army group, guys, this is really dangerous. And keep in mind, I don't see these guys right now. At least I don't see the Shades. He has 4 Shades, and I think they're all dual weapons. Yeah, 4 Shades of dual weapons, and I love this. I'm a very strong supporter of the Shades of dual weapons. I think if there's any matchup, this is the one they're really good at, because once you use all that ammunition, you can send these ladies into melee, and they're going to have that anti-infantry bonus, so they're going to do a lot of damage. They're really powerful, and I think Shades are becoming really, you're starting to see them make a comeback in the meta. A lot of people are starting to play with them. I've seen them in a lot of the, top 100 players have been doing stuff like that, and I've been bringing them back as well, too. I'm a big fan of them. I've always played them, though. If you guys watch any of my replays, you know how much I'm a fan of Shades. And then another Harpy and a Dark Rider, guys. So that is the builds. Let's go ahead and get to it. I apologize for the long introduction. So right off the bat, as IndyPride said, Indiana Jones. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. You can see the Harpies here are going to go doing a rainbow hoop right here, probably just trying to see what's in this little ship right here. And yeah, guys, we don't really have any artillery, anything like that, so I'm not too concerned about all his units in the back. Now, I am going to spot his Shades. I went over here to try to pressure some things, and I'm going to see all these Shades, and that's really going to that's really going to warn me. And you see, I'm immediately going to pull back. Now, unfortunately, these stupid deck droppers are flying really slow, so they're taking a lot of damage, but that's unfortunate. You can see I am going to start to reposition. I don't want him attacking me from the side and from the top, so what I'm going to try to do is angle myself so I'm facing so I'm only going to be fighting on one front. Now, he does have this little goon squad in the back, but these guys are going to be easily chased away. You can see the Terror guys does give me pretty much air supremacy. There's nothing he can really contend with me on the air, so yeah. That is a big advantage, having control of the air. Now, I just have to be careful, because these Harpies will be able to shut down my deck droppers if they're able to get into them, and I need to keep my deck Shade Wraith Gunners alive. So we're just going to be patient, and you can see there's going to be some posturing by both of us. IndyPride is very, from the games I've played with him, I realized that he's a very patient opponent. He's very strategic. He doesn't just rush in. He looks for openings, and it's really refreshing to play that. It's really cool to play on other maps besides open fields, too, because it puts an element of skill in there, you know what I mean? You have to, position, you got to look for flanking, you want to, it's like a game of chess, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So here comes a Fireball. We're going to watch where it goes. I think it's shooting at these deck droppers here, and yeah. So he looks like he does get, well, it must not have been shooting at them. So it looks like he's going for the Terror guys. I'm actually not sure what he was shooting at. If he was shooting at the deck droppers, I didn't see any models fall. Now, you guys, you can see I'm immediately going to start trying to get into these Witch Elves. I saw that he was a little bit, he didn't have his Harpies next to the Witch Elves, so I figured let's try to get a couple volleys into these ladies, because they don't have any shield chance. So any damage I could do to them right now is just going to add up a little bit later. And you can see I'm going to get a little bit of damage. I'm going to tickle them, but I'm immediately going to have to pull back because his Shades... IndyPride does turn in kind with a Fireball. Kills about 2 models. I don't know if it was worth it. I mean, yeah, we chipped away at him, but it is what it is. You can see he is going to use the Harpies here to try to screen out. I'm immediately going to pull back, and yeah, we're just kind of just going back and forth, trying to make something happen. You can see right here that his Shades are getting into position. Once they are spotted, I'll be able to open up with my Shade Wraith Gunners. And yeah, you can see that I'm going to get a breath attack by the Terror guys, and it's going to kill 6 models, so that's a very powerful breath attack. That's a really good value, and you can see I'm immediately just going to pull back. So we're just kind of just, like I said, poking and pronging, trying to force a mistake out of each other. Looks like IndyPride is going to start moving up with his shades right here, and I'm just waiting for them to become visible, because once they become visible, these Shade Wraith Gunners will make mincemeat out of them. You can see he is going to almost catch these guys, but like I said, I'm using the Terrorgeist to protect him, and that will be that. So yeah, I am going to start to kind of reposition just a little bit more, guys. The bigger part of the army was up here, so it's more important to be facing that way, even though he does have this little goon squad right here. And yeah, right about this moment now, I think, is when he is going to become visible. Now, with these shades, you definitely want to start shooting into the Mongols. Hitting the zombies would be kind of a waste of ammunition. Seeing that I see his shades, I'm going to buff up my Shade Wraith. So I'm going to use the Enchanted Ballistics, and boom, we're going to start just firing in on them, and it's going to do a lot of damage into these shades. So that's a very good pick for me. We're going to get a little early damage out of them, and it's going to force IndyPride to have to retreat. And now, see, that's the cool thing I was trying to tell you guys. Like, using that gunnery right mixed in with your weapons teams, I mean, look at that, 60% accuracy and reload speed. So that's, that's really powerful. And you can see it did some pretty good damage to these shades. Just in one volley, we chipped away, a pretty strong percentage of his health. So now I'm going to start sending my Mongols over there. I saw the shades. I saw he only had 1 unit of Dark Riders, so I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure that with what am I trying to say? With the cloak or with the stealth being hidden, they could probably get in there and do some damage, and it would keep these guys busy, allowing me to focus here on the main engagement, which is getting ready to start. So now he's starting to come down the hill right here. Keep in mind, these weapon teams now, their job is to shoot into the Witch Elves. If I could get them to focus these Witch Elves, get them down to even about half health before we get into combat, well, yeah, that's going to be a really good pick for me. Ignore the Bleak Swords, because the Mongol and my Death Guard will just chew through them. So I'm going to switch targets. We're going to start shooting onto the Sorceress of Fire right here with my weapons team. And yeah, we'll start doing a lot of damage to them. And you can see, guys, it's going to just slow it down. This is what I was talking about. So all the weapons teams are starting to shoot into the Witch Elves. And look at that damage, guys. Just one volley. Same with over here. We're chipping these guys away pretty quickly. And that's what's really cool about using a front line of zombie pirates right here. I mean, look at that damage. We never probably would have took that if not for them. Over here, you can see the weapons teams are just shooting into the Sorceress. So we're doing a lot of damage. Let's go ahead and slow it down so I can kind of show you everything that's going on here. And yeah, you can see that my deck droppers are as well trying to shoot down the Witch Elves. Now, he does have these Harpies who are being a really big nuisance to me. But I do have the Terrorgeist, and I'm keeping the Terrorgeist in the back right here to kind of protect my Shade Wraith if he tries to dodge. And I also do have the Zombie Pirate polearms as well. Over here, guys, you can see that the Mongol did get into the shades a little bit, but he does intercept with the Dark Riders. So yeah, he's going to be able to pull back, and that's really unfortunate, because while these guys are getting blocked up, these two shades will be able to start shooting me. IndyPride gets a really good Burning Skull right here. It's going to go into some of my Death Guard. It's going to hit my Zombie Pirates, but it kind of veered off, so I'm okay with it. You can see we are going to be almost able to break the Sorceress, and that's going to be a really good pick for us, guys. If we're able to break his leadership, he's not going to be able to cast any magic, and yeah, you can see we are going to be able to rout her, and that's going to put the balance of power really strongly in my favor. You can see IndyPride does dive in with the Harpies right here, but we're going to land with the Terrorgeist, and we should be able to terror route them pretty quickly and get that weapons team shooting again. This is what I was talking about, guys. These Dark Riders have been a real nuisance. They held up my Mongols, and now these shades are just melting them. So even with their healing, the Mongols heal as they're fighting, yeah, we're losing that engagement. So that was a little bit sloppy. My micro was kind of spin over here, and there's nothing I can really do about it. You can see that my Vampire Fleet Admiral is shooting into Lokir right here, and yeah, our front lines, guys, are looking pretty good. You can see we were able to break the Witch Elves. We destroyed one Witch Elves, one Sorceress, and the other one here is at pretty much half health. Now, he does have these shades in the back, but once we're able to break his line, you can see I'm going to send the Death Guard in there to try to chase them away. We are going to break these Harpies. We're going to have the weapons team be able to start shooting again. And yeah, guys, you can see the gunnery right is also shooting into Lokir right now. And now we have a little bit of a Lord duel. Lokir versus the Crab. I'd be really interested to see who does win that fight. With his anti-infantry bonus, he's not going to get it while we're on the Crab. But yeah, you can see, guys, here in the back, the Death Guard are charging. They're going to get into these shades. Now, the thing about, when I first saw this happening, I thought this is going to be an easy win for me. Death Guard into shades, but keep in mind, these are the dual weapon variants. So they're going to have that really powerful anti-infantry bonus, and they're going to be able to fight these Death Guard a lot more effectively than what you would probably, think just right off the bat. You can see the Mongols are going to start chasing away this group too. And I figured, yeah, if we could shut down both these shades right here, we've already shut down his sorceress, and when we could pretty much just single out Lokir with my weapons team, we might have a chance. And we still have air supremacy. The Terrorgeist, though, is going to come over here. Now that he's destroyed these Mongols, I'm going to be forced to send my Terrorgeist over there to deal with those two shade units. So the Death Guard are chasing. They're taking a lot of damage by the shades, and for some reason my Mongols stopped chasing them, so I don't know what happened there. It must have been some kind of misclick, or maybe they went they stealthed, which is really unfortunate. You can see the gunnery right is shooting into these witch elves. I'm pulling back with my Vampire Fleet Admiral. I did cast a zombie pirate summon right here just to kind of keep Lokir, and you can see, yeah, we're just shooting into these witch elves, and we're doing a lot of damage. Over here, guys, you can see the Death Guard are fighting amongst these shades, and yeah, we're just losing. I mean, it really surprised me how good those shades are fighting, and our Mongols are in here, but yeah, the witch elves and the bleak swords didn't come back, and it's really unfortunate, because I think I had an opportunity, but my Mongols stopped running, and that kind of costed me that engagement. You can see that Lokir right now is going to start fighting amongst the gunnery right, and yeah, the gunnery right will actually get shredded by Lokir. Each attack is taking about 1/10 of his health, and there's nothing I can really do about it. Over here, the Harpies are into my weapons team, so yeah, that's another thing. I need these guys firing. With Lokir right in front of him, imagine the damage I could do. Now, my Vampire Fleet Admiral does have his armor-piercing range, and he is shooting into Lokir, but Lokir has healing, so it's not going to do as much damage as I would probably hope. Well, we are able to free up the shades, and we are going to be able to start shooting into Lokir right here, and hopefully do a little bit of more damage, but things are starting, for the first time, you see the balance of power starting to drift into IndyPride's favor. The Terrorgeist does land into the unit of the shades right here, but IndyPride's doing a really good job of keeping them separated. So if I land on one, the other one could provide overwatch instead of having them grouped up in a ball. And yeah, I mean, even though this Terrorgeist should be able to break these units, I mean, when there's two of them, it's going to take too long. I need the Terrorgeist right here, probably mixed in trying to snipe Lokir. That's really the only chance I'd probably have at this point. You can see we're going to get some point-blank shots right into Lokir. He does kill the gunnery right, though, and yeah, that's really unfortunate. You can see these bleak swords are going to try to get into my Vampire Fleet Admiral. Over here, guys, you can see that he has IndyPride has cleaned up those Mongols, those Death Guard. So yeah, I mean, what looked like an easy win for me in this little battle right here when I was chasing him, he turned around. So that is really unfortunate. So now we're really at a disadvantage, guys. And you can see, this is what I was talking about, the Terrorgeist right here. Even with its terror, his units aren't breaking. And yeah, that Overwatch is just starting to shred me. You can see Lokir does get into the I hate when I get does get into my Shade Wraith Gunners right here, and yeah, he's going to be able to shut them down pretty quickly. You can see that I did cast the spell that gave melee attack to the zombie pirates. I was trying to make them a little bit more powerful, and it made them be able to beat these witch elves, but yeah, at this point, guys, now his shades are going to be able to get into the battle. You can see there is going to be a fireball right here that's going to hit me, but I'm going to turn in kind and try to chase away his sorceress. But yeah, he's starting to collapse in on me now, and things are looking pretty dire. You can see my Terrorgeist is losing pretty quickly. You can see that I'm getting ready to lose my Shade Wraiths, and yeah, balance of power is just strongly starting to drift over into IndyPride's favor here, guys. So we do kill the sorceress, though, so that was a pick, but it was a little bit too little, too late. And you can see the Vampire Fleet Admiral right here is going to die. You see that's going to be GG. So, awesome game, very thematic game. There was a few mistakes made on my end that I think really costed me. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the in-screen breakdown and talk about some of the keys for my success. Or talk about some of the keys for IndyPride success. The shades of dual weapons, I mean, that was definitely a good success. You saw it, guys. When the Death Guard got into the combat, these ladies with their anti-infantry bonus were able to give as good as they got. The pressure with the Harpies and the Dark Riders was on point. We did have a little bit of game of chess. We were doing a little bit of damage here. We'd pull back, do a little bit of damage here. But it really came down to micro, and when there's so many things happening on the map right here, it comes down to what all can you pay attention to. And unfortunately for me, IndyPride was just better at it. He was able to keep track of the battle, the Army Group 2, the one that was fighting on the bottom left. He was able to keep track of the things on the top. And yeah, I mean, for me, some of the mistakes that I made in hindsight, one of the big things was my Mongols not chasing. When I had the Death Guard going into those one shades, for some reason the Mongols just stopped running, and I didn't click back to see, and they just stood there and got shot, which is really unfortunate. If I'd have been able to shut down those 2 shades, who knows what would have happened, but at least I would have had a little bit of a better chance. I really do stand by the zombie pirate gunnery mobs as a front line. I think they did really good against the witch elves. The terror guys, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it did give me air supremacy, but I feel like it was kind of wasted. I didn't get that much value out of it. Like, I did dive bomb one of the shade units, but he had 4 of them. So no matter what I did, he had a shade unit that could, provide Overwatch cover for the other one. So it's a really good strategy. And as for the leadership, I do think the Shade Reef Gunners were really cool. I hope you guys like seeing that with the gunnery right. We were able to snipe out his Sorceress of Fire. We were able to do some pressure on the Shades. And the Vampire Fleet Admiral pistol, I'm on the fence about it. I think she's a little bit overpriced. The Laura Magic was okay. I mean, the healing, but I was a little bit too spread out, so I couldn't really provide that healing to my Morgul's because one was way up on the hill and so on. And as for IndyPride, I mean, yeah, this was just a really cool army. I like the idea of having the shades because, like I said, you have a unit with range, and then you could put these bad boys in the melee, so pretty much you're getting some Black Orc Corsairs that have crossbows, if you really think about it. The fireballs were on point. You saw he was able to do some damage with that. And, yeah, guys, so that's about it. So, good game to IndyPride. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, if you guys haven't seen our game 1, I won't spoil who won. But, yeah, check out IndyPride's channel. I will link it in the comment. And, yeah, so special thanks, guys. I'll see you later and have a good one. Bye-bye.